Am I actually live? I think I'm live. It says I'm live. They have changed this interface so dang much. Who knows if you're live or not? I'm your host, Lazbar, though, and I think we're live, so I'm just going to pretend that I am. And actually, you know what? I have the power in my hands to just go to my YouTube channel and see if it says I'm live. So let's do that. I don't see it here. I feel like I'm missing a button click. So I got like in stream up there. It sure says I'm live. Oh man, I hate technology sometimes, because you never really know what it's going to do for you. Anyway, let me flip over to the Elgato. I just did a review of that book there, Monsters, earlier this week. You should go check out that review if you have not. I've been trying to straighten up my office. In fact, I haven't even read all that many books this week. Like, I read this one. This is the last book I've read. See, did I do something else? I probably did something else, but I'm totally blanking on what that something else is right now. I got some stuff to show off that was kind of interesting, so hopefully, we're actually live and I can do that. Am I already, like, taken down? Did they take me down as soon as I started? No? So why don't I see my stream? It says I got a viewer, but I can't even see my own stream on my own channel. How nuts is that? That seems crazy to me. Can I just go to my stream and look? What's that? Yeah, okay. So I can go to my stream and look, but I can't see my own stream. It's unlisted. Hold up. Why is it unlisted? I don't understand. I don't even know who's viewing. How can you view this if it's unlisted? How did it get unlisted? Let me hit the edit button here. Okay. Yeah, let me flip that switch. But I don't see anything to list it here. That's the absolute weirdest thing. I don't get it. I'm really confused right now. Because this says the stream's unlisted, and I know this should not be unlisted. Visibility. Public. I had to go open it up like it's a video and edit that. Let's see if that made a change. Do I see it now? This has got to be riveting viewing. I'm going to flip back over to this really cool art I have over my monitor over there. And you can check some of that out while I continue to troubleshoot this. There we go. Now it's visible. Okay, now I see it. Now it shows up on Discord. Alright, I have no idea why YouTube was doing that to me, except that YouTube has been weird. It's been weird for me in ways I can't quite describe, which is also funny because I literally just got approved to join the YouTube Partner Program. So I got that going for me. I don't really know what that really means. And I'm using a really old thumbnail for this video with the Amazing Mary Jane in it, which that's in a box. I guess I could go dig that out, but I gotta test, make sure that like the chat's actually working. So let me just make sure this works. Hey, Underworld Dream. I didn't see your message until after I typed what I typed there. Welcome. Yeah, this is a weird stream. YouTube has decided to make it weird, like right from the get-go, because for whatever reason, YouTube decided that the stream would be unlisted, so I had to figure out how to unlist it. Never happened to me before. Never happened. I'm not going to do a face cam tonight. I'm not like feeling like too like super excitable to oh man, that is an absolutely atrocious frame rate right there on the camera. I don't know what's up with that. I was just looking at my up and download speeds and they were fine, so I don't know why the webcam would suck that much. That's weird. Is everything doing that? Hold on. Is everything looking like that bad? If I scroll this, is this nice and smooth? Because if we're just going to get like terrible quality, I'm not even going to bother doing this stream. Like, does that scroll like... Yeah, I guess that's okay enough. I got this in my email. It's from, what's that guy's name? Rob Arnold. And he was just like, yo, I don't know how I got on his mailing list. Maybe I bought one of his books and I don't remember it, or I just signed up for it because it was like cool looking or something. But, you know, I get an email from him every couple of weeks or so, it feels like. And he's like, check out this cool looking art. And I check it out, and you know what? Every time I do, he's right. It's pretty cool looking. Seeing one live stream, not seeing your face then, so it'll be no big deal. This on 120p. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That is a tiny, tiny resolution, my dude. Hey, Eli Easy. Not much is up. Apparently my webcam or my camera setup is like not cooperating. Because I was just like flipped over to it. Like, check this out. Let me flip over to this. Like in my preview window, what I see in OBS, it's super duper smooth. But then I look at the stream, which I get, you know, just a little bit later, and it's not super duper smooth. It's like just a slideshow, and I have no idea why. There's no reason for it to be doing this. So that's really weird. So we won't be using that camera, and I'm not going to dig my laptop out because StreamYard and me have not been cooperating, and YouTube has been weird. But it's alive, but wow, it's choppy. Yeah, Ninja Weasel, the webcam is beyond choppy. Like, we are choppy to the extreme. Extreme choppiness. Look at this cool art, man. I got this in my email. Rob Arnold is from his book Replicator. I don't know what issue this is on. Just know it's on pages 6 and 7. It just looked cool. It looked cool. And when I saw this in my email, I was like, oh man, I gotta like go find a way to get that email in a web browser so that I can show people, because this looks pretty cool. I kind of wish I was like back in his campaign or whatever this is. Like, this is some crazy, awesome looking stuff here. I don't know what's going on. I forget what the premise of the book is, and I don't think it really matters. It just looks cool. Choppy with fire and sharks and Vin jumping dirt bike over an explosion. Hold on, let's go back down here. We got fire, definitely. Yeah, there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on here, man. I'm just trying to watch at 75p because I usually listen to a stream, like a podcast, and it helps because I have bad internet that's sharing with 4 other people. Yeah. You know, I was having really bad internet yesterday. I was trying to stream on Twitch, and let us just say, that did not go so well. I'm going to just do a speed test. Maybe something bad just happened. Like, 15 minutes ago, my speed was A-okay. But now, this looks pretty terrible. I don't know why I would be getting that kind of choppiness. I'm not dropping frames or anything like that. My preview window looks great. So if I break up here for a second, it's my fault and it's intentional. Yeah, we're still getting great speeds. I don't know what's up with this, man. Technology. You know, I got to work with this stuff, and I really don't like it. Page 7 is fantastic. Put some pics from Ifshu, too, just to give some context. He has nailed Blackgate's headquarters. You can see the comparison, as well as Valen and the Blackgate soldiers. Oh, man, Valen. We're getting all Babylon 5 up in here. Yeah, both my download is fantastic right now. It was terrible yesterday. I was getting like 8 down, which I'm paying for a lot more than that. Apparently, they were having internet trouble all over my town, My upload's pretty good despite doing a stream at literally the same time. Okay. Okay, Internet. Anyway, I think we've looked at this cool art long enough. We should look at some other stuff here. I also got this in my email, which was pretty interesting news. I mean, you know, Kickstarter, they send you emails. And those emails are like, yo, check out this thing, because, you know, they want you to buy the book. Well, they were like, hey, you know who's doing the art for Hell Witch #3? Which, is Hell Witch #2 even in my hands yet? Have I gotten that? Yeah, I think I got that a while back, and I still haven't read it, have I? Yeah, I think it's still in my short box over there. Next to, my Thanos graphic novel and the like 20 or 30 books there. You know, with all the stuff going on and the fact that I'm working from home right now, you would think that I would have time to read, but I think I've read less since all this stuff started than I did before, which seems kind of crazy. Anyway, I still got to read the second issue of the series, but the third one, if you don't remember that name from when he worked on DC stuff, his Deviant art has some more recent stuff from him, so let me click over to that. Oops. So that was his book he did on Kickstarter a year or so ago. It was an alright book. It wasn't great, but it was alright. It certainly had good art, and I don't know if his work name is Ed Beans or Ed Benez. I would think it would be Benez. But I was talking with Mori Kyopa on Twitch earlier, and he pronounced it Ed Beans. So I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he does. He has got some great line art. He runs a school in Brazil, an art school that trains people to draw art like him. That's where guys like Leo Matos come from. And if you don't know his work, if you don't know Leo Matos' work, I don't blame you, because the only work I'm familiar with that he's done in comic book form has been Red Ninja Momiji, which is good stuff. Anyway, this has me pretty hype. It's a departure in style. It's absolutely a departure in style for the Hell Witch series. But, you know, I want to see it, man. I think it'll be great. You can kind of get a sense for his apparently pin-up-filled lineup of art over there on the right side. But I think this will be cool. I got high hopes, man. Look at the loving rendering of this machine gun right here. Is that even a machine gun? I think it's an anti-material rifle, isn't it? Either way, it's a big boom. So, pretty hype about this bit of news from, oh hey, fun fact, Brian and Ed first worked together for Chaos Comics. Man, that was like 20 years ago. That was a long time ago. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. This is the cover of the second issue, which, with the way Brian Pulido numbers everything, is a #1, because everything has to be a #1 to get that #1 bump in comics, which is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely. Positively silly. Hey, I just saw a thumbs up appear on the stream. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Much love. Much love. And you know, the other purpose of this stream isn't just like, let's chat about comic books. Although, you know, I'm going to flip back to Monstars just because I really like this book. You're going to get like choppiness here. I apologize. I cannot do anything about said choppiness. I don't know what YouTube is doing to make the video choppy, but I just really like the way Larry King draws stuff. Because it's simple, it's clean, it just looks good. It just looks good, man. The only real weakness in this book, you know, I should have nailed him on that chainsaw too, because that chainsaw looks lame. And don't ask why the guy has a waffle for a head, he just does. It's a conceit of the story. But, yeah, Monstars was great. If you go to his Twitter, which I conveniently have open over here, to some art that he was posting, but you can go find him on Twitter and message him and he'll tell you how to get his book. Larry King Undead on Twitter. He's a pretty cool guy. He's got some strong opinions. But, his strong opinions have never gotten in the way of him making cool stuff. So I got to give him props for that. Absolutely got to give him props for that. Excuse me for a second. Let's see. There we go. So, coming for New Comic Book Day, which, oh, that's today! Huh. Funny how that works. This here's a 4 one-page stories I collaborate with, I don't know who that is, but it's followed by Terry Mayo and Larry. You know what? I'm going to just go ahead and hit follow on that. Sorcerer's Blues. So Larry laid out the pages, and Antonio did the actual art, which you can tell because the art is definitely a little dirtier than Larry King's style. It looks pretty good. It kind of reminds me of something you'd see in a Sunday newspaper strip, which is cool. Not a lot of people are good at black and white. I know. That's absolutely true. I don't know how long ago you said that because I had my browser window with this tab open covered up so I couldn't see it. But he just wrote these things, and if you want to go check that out, let's see. Yeah, I got this one up. I'm just going to drop this link in the chat, and if you want to go look at the art he's posted or whatever, you can click over there and check that out. It's cool stuff, and these are kind of funny. These are like little joke strips. I guess that's part of the reason why it reminded me of Sunday comic book strips. Just a little more twisted than that, but why am I not feeding off the pain of the people? The head of the Woodworkers Guild has fled south, Lord Serpentos. Find him and hurt him. My lord, you've hurt everybody. And, in the meantime, promote someone within the guild and hurt him. Yes. I don't think I can say the C word right there, so that's why I'm finding a different word to say. I'm monetized now. That's kind of the other big announcement. I don't really understand what all that means yet here on YouTube, as opposed to Twitch, where I understand it pretty well. I just don't get any money. But apparently I'm monetized here. They finished my review up earlier today. I checked the checkbox to make this stream monetized. I don't know if that means that you all got commercials or something when you dropped in or what. If that even means anything, because I'm a nobody. But it's a thing now. I hit 1,000 subscribers. That level stayed there. So I think I hit it on the weekend or something. Bryn was actually the one that told me that on my Discord server. He's like, yo, look at this. Ah! And then it was true. It's absolutely true. I hit 1,000. It was great. So I did the paperwork, and then YouTube was like, all right, we're going to review this. We're going to review this, you son of a gun. And then today, they pinged me with an email, and they were like, you have been reviewed. And you have been found wanting. Okay, maybe they didn't say you've been found wanting, but they were thinking it, you know? But apparently I'm monetized. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I just wanted to show this stuff off. You can go check that out at your leisure. And the other thing, comic-wise, that I just wanted to mention is... Actually, I guess there's two things. I got the tab open here that I want to click to in a second, but before I get there, I read somewhere in one of those news articles I reported on, I discussed yesterday, that DC was putting out some of their books for free, and I really should have went back to Newsarama. Here we go. And the thing that, oh God, why is Twitter? Okay, so this is stupid. Let me bring this over here so you can look. For some reason, Twitter has decided that it will be in light mode in this window and night mode in this window. Why? Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, I'm going to go look up an article and try to find the thing I'm looking for here. Because I remember it said somewhere that DC Comics was doing free digital #1s or something, and I was trying to find a link for it, and I didn't think to come back and look at this. Oh, that's actually a good article to look at here. Let me drag that over here. We'll come back to that in a second. DC partners with Oni and Lionforge. Oh, that might be interesting. We'll look at that one too. Oh my gosh, I'm just trying to find the article I looked at yesterday. Here we go. I think this is what I was looking for. Let's bring that over. We can close that tab. Alright. Hello? Stream. There we go. Okay. Jeez, guys. I'm so sorry that the stream quality is like this. I don't know what changed. Something has changed on my computer, and I don't know what it is. I really don't. Like, I'm not dropping frames everywhere. I have a very modest frame drop. So it doesn't make any sense to me that I would be seeing any kind of laggy stuff. Your stream is experiencing minor issues. Like what? The frame drops didn't go up. And now I got red. Your stream is experiencing issues. Maybe my ISP is crapping out on me or something. Alright, well, we're going to do the best we can. And if things get terrible, I apologize. Free digital, okay. So is there a link here? Where can I find this? It's not your fault. You know, the whole US has been having issues with network backbones. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Oh, you know what? Since I'm streaming with OBS, I will have a video file I can look at. That might help narrow it down. I'll take a look at that later. Okay, so available now through June 8 on DC's digital platforms of Read DC, Comixology, Amazon Kindle, Apple Books, and more are these things. Okay, so if I wanted to go get these, I could like fire up the Kindle app on my phone and get them. Is that what this is telling me? Let's find out if this is true. You know, it's not the like image quality itself, Underworld Dream, it's the frame rate. And I understand you don't, you're not seeing it, my man, and that's fine, but as the person putting on the show, it really bugs me. Okay, so I'm going to open up Kindle. Oh, maybe I don't need to open up Kindle. Maybe I'm supposed to open up the Amazon store on my phone. Let me just type in Kindle. I'll be grabbing my chicken book in Walmart. Maybe if I got a reason to go to Walmart, I might get it. Which, that would be pretty ironic if I got it from Walmart before I got it from the campaign. Okay. Alright, so my Kindle app. Hey Rob, we're talking about let me pull it up for you. Let me pull it up for you. Indiegogo.com. And Red Rooster. Let's see, how overdue is this campaign now? It was supposed to have been filled in like spring of 2019 or something, so we are a solid year and a half. We're like a year overdue, going on a year and a half at this point. What the hey? Okay, apparently I'm cursed to never find these DC books because my phone just rebooted. I still got to pick up the Fighting Forces book from Walmart too, man. I think it was Rami on my Discord server was showing it that it was like actually finally out. He's been teasing me with that book for feels like 3 months now. And just the other day, he rubbed my nose in it. And I kind of want to go pick it up, man. I've lost interest in some of the other giants just because my SIM card and my phone just died. That's why it rebooted. Okay, well, that stinks. I can't make phone calls now. I'll have to take my phone apart and try to fix this. I think I've had that same SIM card for 15 years now, so maybe it was due. Alright, so I'm on the Amazon store. Let me put in Watchmen. Hold on. So, Watchmen number 1. Let's see if I can find this thing. Like, I couldn't find it. I went to Kindle. Couldn't find it. Maybe I should have went to the Comixology app. I don't have Comixology installed. I don't even know if I have an account there. I guess I do. Watchmen Deluxe Edition, Watchmen 2019 Edition, before Watchmen Omnibus, the Watchmen movie to rent, slipcase for the Collector's Edition, Watchmen Ultimate Cut, Doomsday Clock, Doomsday Clock, the complete edition. Here we go. Watchmen #1. That was way down there. If they want to use this stuff as a promo... Oh, this is like the physical. It's not the digital. Okay, so I still have no idea how to get these free comics. But if you want to check them out, you can go to one of these things and theoretically get them. Which, that's pretty cool. It should just be really easy. In fact, what you should do is you should just go to, like, dccomics.com. And the very first thing on the front here, the very first thing that you see should be free comics. That should be right here. Where is it? If I hadn't read that news article, I would not know about the free comics. Isn't that ludicrous? Pro tip, that's ludicrous. What if I click comics? What do we see if I click comics? Do I see free comics? Do you see free? Do you see the word free literally anywhere? Anywhere. Picked up some books from Everett Hartsoe. He sent me a bunch of stuff. Gonna do a video Friday since I haven't gotten everything yet. Everett Hartsoe, I think I've seen him like on Kickstarter and stuff. He does like art books, right? Am I thinking of the right campaigns? So this kills me. We're gonna do a promotion. We're gonna give people free comics, and then it's not the first thing that you see. It should be literally everywhere on their site. If I go over here to Shop DC, what's here? Is it really just selling me like swag? I think so. Wow. Okay. Well, that's the thing. Oh, wait. This might be a comic book. Hold on. This might be a comic book. I clicked on the button, and nothing happened. Man, this is the most depressing corporate website visit I've ever made in my life. We're just going to close those windows. Alright. Get out of here, free releases. I wanted to see what Scout's doing here. He did a Razor campaign a while back, so he sent me the most recent issue. Aha! Cool! Let's see what Scout's doing. Scout beginning self-distribution during Diamond stoppage. Scout Comics will begin self-distributing their comics graphic novels due to the stoppage of the direct market distributor. Diamond will continue after Diamond resumes operations. In light of the pandemic and the ever-changing distribution news, da-da-da-da-da-da. So Scout is following the same stuff that everybody else is doing. Well, okay, DC's not doing this because DC created 2 new distributors from whole cloth and is using them. And by from whole cloth, I mean they talked to 2 comic book companies, or 2 stores that had large distribution operations already, large warehousing operations, because they were... Midtown is a gigantic chain. By gigantic chain, I mean in terms of volume, not number of locations. And then DCBS, they ship nationwide all the time. They have a couple warehouses to do it from. So this is pretty cool. Scouts is just going to sell stuff directly to stores. Diamond is really screwing up. They're missing out, man. They are dropping the ball. Which I guess that's fine if you don't want to be in business anymore. And what was this other one? DC partners with Oni and Lionforge. Oh yeah, that's right, because Oni Comics and Lionforge merged, and then all the Lionforge people got fired. I remember reading that news article, like, what was that, 6 months ago? 9 months ago? Something like that. It was last year, either in the summer or fall, I think. With various creators and publishers raising money to benefit U.S. comic shops via the Book Industry Charitable Foundation, which I have never heard until the present crisis started. I've never heard of it until now. Don't know what it is, don't know what they do. Presumably they do something. Presumably. Da-da-da-da-da. So it's a press release. DC, da-da-da, Jim Lee's 60 sketches over 60 days auctions. Yeah, those are pretty cool. So what do they need to partner with Oni and Lionforge for? What are they providing? Lionforge started the Forge Fund with being to raise funds for comic book stores in need, and has raised $100,000. That's probably more than Lionforge saw in sales last year, so that's pretty incredible. Oh, sorry. Did I say that out loud? I think I said that out loud. I probably shouldn't have. I probably just got in trouble. Nobody bought their books. That's why they were going out of business. Nobody bought their books. If this pandemic has taught us anything, it's how precious and fragile the things that bring us happiness are. So we must protect the lifeblood of our industry, Jim Lee had said in the announcement. Only Lionforge saw the need for this type of relief before there was a crisis, which is why DC is proud to now stand alongside them in this time of need. So DC is contributing to someone else's fund. I guess. Okay. That hardly seems worthy of being a news announcement. I don't know, maybe I'm weird. But I don't really see why that is a news announcement. Hey, Mr. Crazy Rob, I see you lurking in the voice chat. Why don't you come on YouTube and say that? I see what you said in the message you sent me. Quit hiding over there. You can come out and say that, man. You can just say it. Just do it. He's hiding from me. Ah, this guy. Come on, man. I'm gonna sit here. I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you to show up. Spike, yeah, I know Spike. He's a Mexican YouTuber who works with translating American comics. Yes, he does. He's also done work with, like, locating talent and stuff before, I believe. I'm pretty sure I've seen him comment on that on Twitter in the past. Spike's an okay guy. I don't know him too well, but he's never done anything that's, like, cheesed me off. So, he's got that going for him. So, Diamond's fall will affect foreign distribution of comics because the contracts will be affected. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Diamond is worldwide, even, not just in America. Really the only game in town for distributing American-made comic books. They handle distribution all over the place, which is a crazy, crazy industry. Hey, Rob, I see you're not muted anymore. I saw you unmute yourself. You can say something if you want to. Or not. That's fine. If you're talking, I can't hear you, man. Yeah, no, that is a big deal. British shops, Mexican shops, French shops, the Japanese stores that carry, like Marvel and stuff, which there's not that many, but there are some. Oh, man, just think about it. Like, if you're one of those British comic shops, and there are some very large British comic shops, what do? Number one, you're like under quarantine, you're in lockdown. Number two, if Diamond goes under, ain't nobody shipping books to you, bro. Ain't nobody shipping you a single book. So what do you do? If I knew the answer to that, I would be a rich man, because I would be able to take advantage of it and make a bunch of money.
Maybe drone deliveries?
Hey, there you are. Yeah, drone deliveries could work. They do curbside pickup, but the problem is you're trying to do shipments across, an ocean, man. That's some very long-range drone technology.
Two is to look into railgun deliveries.
Orbital launches. Not a bad idea, Fire from one side of the planet, your comic books arrive on the other side in a crater. I remember Spike pre-CG. He'd stream with Captain Cummings. I don't remember that, but While I like Captain Cummings' snarkiness, like I appreciate a good snark, I gotta admit, I didn't get into Captain Cummings back in his glory days when he was this crazy guy ranting with a sheet hung up behind him. You know, now if you go watch him, he's still ranting, but he's like way more dignified because he's got bookshelves behind him. It's a very different experience. Rob, man, what do you think of drama? Like, you're trying to be an author, right? You're wading into a world of drama that way.
Drama is a bit like, in my opinion, liquor. Can I say that on here?
Sure, you can say whatever you want.
Oh, all right. I'm going to try and keep this G-rated and professional. Drama is a bit like, it can help a situation if used in the right dosage. One of the things I had to learn the hard way, first iteration of a novel after multiple rejections, was that I put in too much needless drama into the first novel, too much needless chaos and carnage, and it's good when things are getting a little boring, but one needs to be Peter Parker, okay? Not everyone needs to have what feels like a malevolent force out to ruin their life or make every single encounter the birth of a new nemesis or a doomed love affair or what have you.
Yeah, Peter Parker, man, he's definitely cursed with that Parker luck.
And that's just my two cents worth. There might be people who disagree with me, but I think it's perfectly acceptable for when the costume comes off to show that these fictional heroes have something resembling a normal life that isn't just constant drama or soap opera worthy material.
Yeah, well, in this case, when I say drama, I'm not really referring to the characters themselves, although you make good points about the lives of the characters. No, you're not in trouble or nothing. Like, that was a good tangent you went on, and I'm glad you went there, because what you say is true. Like, you got to have a little bit of drama to kind of jazz stuff up, but too much drama, and you either go into soap opera land, or it becomes like season 5 of Breaking Bad, and people go, this sucks.
Oh, you meant in real life drama?
Yeah, real life drama. Like, you want to be a writer, my man, and the writing community is full of drama. It goes back for forever. As Underworld Dream points out, drama brings money, views, and clicks. It's true. But you can go too far with it. And writing is full of that kind of stuff, man. Some of it is like real, because there's some stuff I can't even talk about, like Marion Zimmer Bradley, like the things she did and her husband did on stream, because I will get kicked off of YouTube if I talk about it, because they're like actual legit criminals. They did some heinous stuff. You would want to carry out some really horrifying things upon them with your sense of vengeance and all that. So there's like some drama that's... Oh, go ahead.
Who are those people? I don't recognize them on my list.
Marion Zimmer Bradley, and she was a science fiction author. She was very highly acclaimed until people heard, or until it started coming out about the stuff that her and her husband did to their daughter.
Oh, yep. Yeah, I can see what you're talking about. But yeah, to answer your question more accurately, if I want to tell a story and entertain people, I'm going to make it fictional, because when you try to entertain people with real people's lives, you can hurt real people. And I like to think that I have, even if as few standards as I have, standards enough to avoid hurting people who probably haven't done anything in their life to deserve it.
Dude, you're being like super professional sounding over there. It's like you want to do this for a living.
I have considered it every second of my life.
Yeah, so you're entering... I'm just kind of giving you a warning here, and just letting you know, you're entering a very drama-filled career choice. Whether you're... I'm not even talking about like just fiction writing. Anytime you're hanging out with people who are very creative and whose livelihood depends on networking and reputation, i.e., you're hanging out with writers or artists or musicians, things will be very dramatic. You'll have people just fly off the handle, generate some drama so that they can get back into the news cycle, get their name back out there for free advertising, like those kinds of crazy things. And
Addicted
it's
to the spotlight.
yeah, absolutely. And you'll also just encounter a lot of people whose personality types are the types that are prone to just wanting to be in the middle of some kind of controversy so that they can play the victim for not really the spotlight, but for the attention that playing the victim brings. Because, as was said in the chat, it brings money, views, and clicks, baby.
Oh, my one last comment on that is, when I took acting in 2 decades ago, I learned one thing about being in the spotlight. It gets hot. If you stay in the spotlight too long, you shouldn't be surprised if you get burned.
Right on, man. Let me read this comment from Eli Easy here. If I was a comic writer, I'd be like the real Eazy-E and show up with my posse to the different companies. Intimidation can work. It can work in your favor. And then in a real dream, he also... this is a very good statement here, too. You may not be interested in drama, but drama is interested in you. That there's a lot of things in this universe where that is the truth. You may not be interested in, whatever's happening, like right now, everybody's under lockdown. You may not be interested in the particular disease or something, but guess what? That particular disease is interested in you. It wants you. It wants to do terrible things to you. Let me switch up the view here. I just got my webcam turned on. Let me just, just like put Tinseltown right there, and I gotta get rid of this unopened copy of Eden that I own. Like, I just got given this by my shop man. I already owned the dang book before that, so it's kind of silly that he gave me that copy that he got for free from the publisher. But whatever. It's still shrink wrapped, man. Unopened, still sealed. Oh, that was weird. I was just watching my stream like 20 seconds ago on the stream when I was putting Tinseltown down. It was a slideshow. Then I just put that the copy of Eden that I've read out there to be looked at, and then I took it away, and that was smooth as silk. I have no idea what's going on with like my ability to stream and stuff. You'll take it easy. I don't know. I don't want to just give it to somebody. I want to find like a good home for it. I want to find like the right person to give it to. And it's one of those things. I'll know who the right person is when I see the right person. It'll just jump out at me that that's the person that the book's for.
The pages choose the reader, or some other mystical mumble jumbo.
Yeah, that's the same reason I'm holding on to my second copy of the North Valley Grimoire. The one that's beat up that... Where is it? I thought it was up on the shelf. Ah, there it is. The one that got chewed up by the Canadian Postal Service. I'm waiting for the right person, and then I'm going to give it to them. I don't know who the right person is, but one day I will. I know you're taking that as... You're saying that in jest, Eli, but I got a good laugh at that. Yeah, those are alternate books. Don't have a home, you got a room. Yeah, these are both alternate books. I backed the Kickstarter for Tinseltown, and then I bought Eden at the store, and then Peter Samedi sent the store a free copy of it, and then the store gave me the free copy, so now I have 2 copies. Yeah, they're both alternate books. They're fantastic. Tinseltown is set in early 1900s, like 1910, 1915, something like that, in Hollywood. Going through the life of a female cop working for a fictional movie studio. It's a really good series. Do recommend checking it out. And then Eden is a great space fantasy story. Like, if you like Star Wars, you'll probably like Eden. And when I say Star Wars, I'm talking like original trilogy kind of stuff. Because it definitely goes through a very similar narrative arc. The stakes build up until they explode at the end. It's super dramatic and a ton of fun. Do recommend. I think you can still get single issues for both of these series. Tinseltown, I think you can still get those directly. And I think Eden, they still had issues from the In Case You Missed It reprint series. So if you go to Alternate Access, you should be able to get both of those. And I don't even know if you can see my hand gesturing over here, because I'm not like reaching very far, and I don't know exactly where the camera is showing. Oh, hey, there's my fingertip.
Yep.
Cool deal. Want to read both of those? Definitely grab those when I get the chance. And Red Koi. Oh yeah, man, Red Koi was a great two-shot book. Let me just pull up Alternative's store here. Let's live see what they got for us here, because they got to have something, right? Let's see. Oh yeah, the new Tinseltown miniseries is going to start. But that's not what I'm looking for. I don't want pre-orders. I want back issues. There we go. I'll come back to your question in a second, Underworld Dream. I don't want you to think I'm ignoring you, because I'm not. But I'll come back to that here in a minute. Oh, looks like they still have second printings of the first two issues of Eden, and then issues 3 and 4. So you could get Eden in the original print run. Apparently signed copies too, which would be pretty cool. Mine are not signed. Exilium is a great series too if you haven't read that. It's definitely on the space fantasy front, but looks like the first issue's out of stock. That's a bummer. But I bet if you message the writer Ben on Twitter or something, he might be able to hook you up with one of his self-published issues. He sent those to me as part of the Kickstarter for the graphic novel or the trade paperback of this. So I have like his self-published versions, plus the alternative versions, plus the trade paperback, and the coloring looks slightly different in each of them. It was actually a lot of fun to compare the quality of the print job in 3 different editions, which that's also a spectacular waste of money, and I don't recommend. Oh, I'm not showing the stupid alternate webpage. Oh my god. I'm over here talking about it, and I'm not even showing it. There you go.
I said something, but my my video is a little shaky right now. I'm not sure. Oh, there we are. Yeah.
Dude, with this stream right now, I think everybody's video is a little shaky. Dude, I was speed testing last night. I was trying to stream, I was going to stream some video games with 6, because we couldn't do it on Monday. Because Monday for him is a very important religious holiday. You can observe what Monday was. It was the 20th of April.
I was trying not to do an insensitive thing there.
No, he's totally, channeling his inner Snoop Dogg on the 20th.
Have you ever met that funny reefer man? Oh, crazy, crazy, crazy reefer man.
Something like that. Anyway, you can still pick up the floppy issues of Eden. They're all there. Exilium is a different, like, space opera type story than Eden. I think Eden is more like space opera adventure, and Exilium is more like space opera with a little more hard sci-fi. But they're both great series, and you might be able to get Ben to hook you up with a copy of number 1 if he's still got like some of his self-published issues, or maybe some of these left laying around. He's easy to find on Twitter, and he's super approachable. Seems like a pretty cool guy. Last I saw, he had went to like Egypt and was inside a pyramid or something, so he's got that going for him. But you can also pick up... Oh, load more. Oh, they're out of the reprints of Trespasser. That's a bummer. Trespasser was a good series, too. Let's see. I scrolled right past what I wanted to show. They've got Eden number 1 here. I guess the rest of the series, because the next, like, Eden 2 and 3 are also reprinted, and in case you missed it. So you can get them that way. Okay, was there anything else I wanted to show here? Oh, Red Koi. Oh, 1 and 2 are both out of stock. That's a bummer. Hopefully they collect those in like the Giant Edition or something, because that would be cool. And Tinseltown 1... Oh, 2 is out of stock. That's a bummer. I'm not sure how you would get those now, since they're out of stock. It seems weird to me, man, that stuff goes out of stock, you know? In this world of technological miracles that we live in, and frankly, this stuff is, like, miraculous. Like, I can do this and send you a picture from my computer to your phone, your computer, your whatever you got going on over the internet. It's incredible. I can talk to this guy here on my Discord server with microphones connected to computers and then send that out with the pictures. It's ludicrous. So it seems weird to me that things ever actually go out of print, but I understand the reasons why. It's kind of a bummer.
Scarcity means value. That's my first take on it. I don't want to assume the worst, but
no, I mean that is a valid point that artificial scarcity to drive up the price is a real thing in, for example, boutique comics. Like if you go to Kickstarter or something and you get a book off of Kickstarter, and let me see what Kickstarter books do I have that I could ascribe artificial scarcity to? You know what? They're probably all on a shelf, so I'm going to grab one that isn't really artificially scarce, because they printed like 500 copies of it or something. And let me flip back to my camera. And it's Common America. There's like a couple hundred copies of this thing, but in crowdfunded comics, a lot of times they will artificially like limit. Oh yeah, there's only ever going to be 25 of these. You see that same kind of thing in like convention exclusives or like super special editions. Like, oh, we're only going to print like 10 of these foil cover comics. That's why they cost, you know, $35 each. It's purely artificial scarcity. That foil covered comic did not cost like $30 to print. They're just driving the price up because there's only 25 of them. You see that a lot in that kind of stuff. Oh, hey, you know, I was talking about Coffin Comics earlier. Let me bring up like the Hell Witch campaign and see if we can see like the perk tier, because it's kind of ludicrous. Oh, please don't have anything naughty when I scroll down to what I want to show. Here we go. Like here, this will be a good example. Let me flip back to my monitor. The Forsaken Hollow Foil Edition. So 48 people backed it, which means they're only going to print like 50 or 100 of these things. They'll sell some in their store, but it's $45 for a single book. It's about $1 a page that's in the book. It's a bit much. And the costs of these things only go up. Eventually, Coffin Comics has stuff like... Oh god, I don't want to listen to this song. Eventually, Coffin Comics will get down... If you keep scrolling, there will be like the edition that has genuine Swarovski crystals on the cover. And that's like $300 for one comic book. But there's only 10 of them, so maybe it's a deal. It's not a deal, it's a ripoff. Don't do it. Not even once. Okay, let me get back to the chat here. Do you think there's a theme or a genre in comics that Alterna Comics is missing? I think they really need a superhero comic that targets children. The ones I see them have are for older people. You are pretty correct. I'm going to marshal my thoughts and read the rest of the chat, and I'm going to come back to that question. See, Red Koi is ongoing in September. Yes, I remember seeing an announcement. I don't remember the date in the announcement, but there's more of that coming. Tyler Wentworth, that'll be awesome. Common America was indeed great. I'm glad that you loved it too. I legit hope there is an actual crossover between Rags, Punchline, and Common America. There's something like that in the works, but if I think I said more than that, Brian Ball would either drive from California and kill me, or he would have somebody else drive from Maine and kill me. One way or the other, I'm right in the middle of the country. Somebody's going to come kill me. Or maybe Trent will drive from wherever it is in the Dakotas he lives with trees and squirrels and stuff and come kill me. Like, he's got a sniper rifle, I think. And I think I just demonetized myself by saying the R word there. Where I think don't think I'm getting money anymore, man. It's a bummer. There's so many trigger words that it's hard to dance around all that stuff. And I'm just going to have to learn that system the hard way. And do I recommend Voidwalker? Oh my gosh, dude. Yes. It was not the story I thought it was going to be. Oh shoot, I closed out the browser tab that had the alternative stuff open. Let me pull that back up here. See, is that down at the bottom of this? No, that's going to be in new releases. Voidwalker was fantastic. You would actually really like it, Rob. It was, yeah, here we go. So the first issue is got a lot of Spawn vibes and a lot of, do you remember the Guyver, Rob? Do you ever watch that anime back in the day?
Guyver? No, I did not.
Did you watch one of the 2 American movies? One of them had Mark Hamill in it for the Guyver.
Unfortunately, no.
Okay, that's fine. No is correct. It's as long as it's the truth, it's a fine answer. So, but yeah, it's kind of like Spawn meets Guyver, and instead of like, you know, in Spawn, he's like this mercenary guy and yada yada yada. In fact, you wrote an article on this the other day.
Yeah, I just cards on the table. All I had was a very superficial knowledge of Spawn. I actually had corrections out the wazoo when I published the article about some errors I made. I thought Spawn, to just show you my limited knowledge, was a Marvel entity.
Yeah, well, you should have let me proofread that article. I would have caught that before you ever sent it in. But whatever. So you know the plot line. He gets killed, and he comes back to life after making a deal with the devil, and then he goes to get revenge, and he's like a mercenary. Well, the main character in Voidwalker here, he's not a mercenary. He's like a gangster type character, and he gets killed, and he makes a deal with an entity that wants to go kill other demons, and so that's his jam. So it's kind of like Spawn in that regard, but it's also like the Guyver series, because everything is like crazy biosuit looking stuff. You've got like monsters eating people. It's nutso. It's totally like bloody gonzo. Definitely a mature title. Do not give this to anybody under the age of 14. It will scar them for life.
So biopunk? Is that a word, biopunk?
Jeez, is that a real word? I guess it is now. That
should be. Yeah,
there's probably a little bit of that in there. It was a great story. I loved the first 2 issues. Absolutely a complete blast to read. It was awesome. Do recommend. Yeah. So yeah. Oh, hey.
Look into it.
Eli Easy's going to add alternate to his pull list. Hey, Rob, man, alternate books are just like $1.50 or $2 each. And if you order, I think it's $25 worth of books, you get free shipping. So
I have to look into that. Thank you.
Yeah. There's a lot of great stuff there. The more mature titles. Okay, biopunk is a real word, according to Underworld Dream. Thank you. The more mature kind of titles, they're all pretty fantastic. The 12 was great. I had a little bit of problems with the ending, because it was a little too, man. No, I'm going to stop there so I don't give anything away, but it wasn't a bad ending. It was just unpleasant, if that makes sense. That was a great series. The Wicked Righteous is great. One of these days, if I ever run into Terry Mayo in person, and I hear he's doing a lot better than he was. He seems to be beating the cancer that he got diagnosed with, which is fantastic, and I'm glad to hear it. Because that means I can fulfill the promise I made in text on a stream that no one but me will remember, which was to take him. It was either to take him out for dinner or a drink. I don't remember which. So hopefully I get to do that. But his books, The Wicked Righteous, is fantastic. Scrimshaw was great. It's kind of like a post-apocalyptic sci-fi pirate anime thing. It sort of combines Ghost in the Shell with the X-Men. Oh god, did I just really say words that sounded like that? Yes, I did. Wow. I'm good, man. I am good. But it definitely mixes some stuff. I understand that the creator of that series has had some kind of falling out with Peter Simeti. I don't know any of the details. I'm afraid to ask. I really don't want to. I don't want to know why. But Eric Borden, he was a cool guy. He sent me a Christmas card actually 2 Christmases ago. He's the guy that wrote Scrimshaw, so that was kind of cool. A lot of their like more mature kind of titles at Alterna are absolutely fantastic reads. They're dramatic. They're well paced. I'm trying to think like what the best thing they've done is, and I don't think I can like pick one. There's too much good stuff there. Tinseltown was a great series. I think that's more like aimed at teens. There's nothing really objectionable for like a 13-year-old to read there. I mean, there is like the scene where the cop infiltrates a bordello, but there's nothing like actually shown at any point, so it's totally passed the PG-13 test. God, yeah, their whole lineup is great. If you're not into this stuff, you should be, because it's great stuff. What else? There was one other series I wanted to call out that I don't think I've talked about yet. Oh, Mr. Crypt. Mr. Crypt is a Sunday morning newspaper strip, except it's a whole comic book of it. So it's just, you flip through it and you get chuckles the whole way through. It's never like super funny, but it's always a little funny. And Mr. Crypt is a story about a skeleton, but since he wears a mustache, nobody in the town realizes he's a skeleton. They think he's just a normal person. Honestly, that sounds like something you would have come up with, or that I would have come up with. It's so dumb, it's fantastic.
Didn't you do something with a whale like that once?
Yeah, before I bailed on that campaign, Duff McWhalen. Yeah, totally ripped off the Mega Man character. And so my fiction was that, he was just everywhere. He just put on a mustache, and so you would think that he was whatever character you were talking to. Oh, that was dumb and awesome. That was dumb and awesome. Okay, anyway, get back to the question up there about genres. Alterna could use more like superhero fare straight up. They do have a little bit of superhero comics. That, darn that mustache, yeah. I regret bailing on that campaign. That was a bad decision on my part. And I apologize for all the chaos that I have sown in my life, because there's been way too much of it. But Alterna Comics, they do have a superhero comic that is aimed at kids. It's maybe a little too irreverent, though. That's Psycho KO, which has like super clean artwork. The lines are solid and gorgeous. It's very plain looking, though, which I think is maybe the biggest turnoff. But it's like reading an old Archie book, except it's superheroes. Oh yeah, and you can also order it in a coloring book form, so you can color your own version of the comic, which is kind of fun. It's definitely aimed at kids. There's a lot of silliness there. And wherever my card box went to, I've got like half a dozen trading cards for those characters. Somewhere, I've lost both of my card boxes now. I have no idea where they're at.
Probably the same place with all your other socks.
Ah.
Limbo.
Oh, what was I watching? It must have been an episode of Star Trek Voyager. I forget exactly what was going on in it. But there was like something that was making things disappear off the ship or whatever. Oh, it was like a subspace anomaly that had eaten like a Mars probe or something stupid like that. And that was what went through my head is, so that's where my socks went to. Oh, man. So Alterna does have this book, which is a superhero book. It is aimed at kids. It's maybe a little too silly, because I think what you really mean by targeting children, this book is probably... I like it because I enjoy the dumb humor, that very gentle kind of chuckly humor. Like I enjoy that a lot. But this is really like you would give this to like a 6-year-old and they'd have a blast with it. I think what you're talking about, Underworld Dream, when you say children, is something more like a Spider-Man book or whatever, where you could give that to an 8-year-old and they'll like it. You can give it to a 12-year-old and they'll like it. You can give it to an 18-year-old and they'll like it. Because there's stuff in each issue that speaks to all those groups. Because, you know, a little kid, man, I started reading Spider-Man. It was actually some really dark stuff. It does look like a Hanna-Barbera cartoon. You are correct, Eli Easy. It looks like a Hanna-Barbera cartoon. The humor's like that, or like an Archie comic. You're absolutely right. It is that kind of a comic book. But like a Spider-Man story, like I read when I was a kid, like it turned out I was reading some like really dark Spider-Man stories. Because there was one, it was like Spider-Man busted like a heroin dealer, dude. And I'm like 8. That was a Web of Spider-Man issue. I still have it somewhere. So you got like that kind of stuff. But you know, Spider-Man, he jumps in. He's like making some jokes that are kind of funny. And then there's great action. And when you're 8 or whatever, that's amazing. It blows your mind. It's like, yeah, that was cool. Did you see the way he like did that flip? And then of course, you know, it's a Spider-Man book, so they actually drew like the whole flip in one panel. He's just in like 6 different positions in it. And it's like, whoa, I can't handle this. It's too awesome. Then you read it as a 12-year-old. You're like, whoa, dude, look at the stuff they're dealing with here. He's like beating up this drug dealer, you know? Then as an 18-year-old, you can still come back to it. And that's when you start picking up on some of the other stuff in the book, like his relationship with Mary Jane, the other characters. You start seeing those crazy interpersonal relationships that ground the character, that give the character's life, his actions, his heroics meaning. So there's like something there. It's written on multiple levels. So I think that's what Underworld Dream means. And yes, Alterna definitely, in fact, not just Alterna, independent comics in general need something like that. If you go look at long-running, long-running independent comic books, you've got, what, 2 to pick from? You've got Spawn, which you definitely shouldn't be giving that to like a 12-year-old. Let's ignore the fact that I gave my nephew a copy of Spawn #1. And you've got like Savage Dragon, which you should be 18 or older, or 21 or older, whatever the legal age is there in your area for that book, because you're just randomly going to see something in there that's just like, what?
I found, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, anytime you have a hero whose power set involves regenerating limbs or rapid regeneration, they're going to use it as an excuse to show you just how much punishment you can shrug off. And Savage Dragon, correct me again if I'm wrong, but didn't they have a villain whose primary theme was feces?
I don't doubt that that is true, but I'm not familiar with that villain. You gotta remember, the only Savage Dragon I've read is I read Savage Dragon a little bit in the 90s. Like 2 issues worth or something. And then I've read Savage Dragon a couple issues more recently, because like you go on the internet and you see what people are saying about it, and the book sounds absolutely chaotic. And man, it was. There was one issue where I can't even say the words that to describe what happened to this poor lady at the hands of this giant demon monster. Like, that stuff happened off camera. But, you know, there was just, like, this bloody corpse thing left behind when it got done. It was like, oh, my God, what am I reading? You can't give that to a kid. You could have given, like, Savage Dragon #1 to a kid in the 90s. He would have ate that up. It had great line work. Eric Larson actually put a lot of effort into his artwork back then. It was pretty cool. It was, like, very straightforward. I don't remember anything too risque, at least in the first couple issues. Things definitely kind of got riskier as they went on, but that was definitely true of like every other book in the 90s. And before you say anything, I'm going to read the comment from Underworld Dream here. Agree, lots of things these days have a problem with their target audience. Absolutely true. Because your next observation is also true. The new She-Ra series was said to be for kids. Oh god, that series looked the artwork looked terrible because it was all Cal Art stuff. It was just not pleasing to the eye. Same thing with the Thundercats Roar series, but in reality they made it for Tumblr adults who don't want to grow up. I don't even know that it's that the adults didn't want to grow up so much as the adults didn't want other adults to have fun. Which I guess that's a childish attitude, isn't it? You want to deprive somebody else of their joy. That's something kids do. Eli Easy. I read Spawn when I was 3. Geez, dude, you had like a hardcore upbringing. That's all I'm going to say there, man. Issue 1 of Spawn's not bad, but definitely as you go along in Spawn, man, it gets like super gory and stuff in places. It's a bit much. Spawn, Venom, Spider-Man, and Deadpool or something. Man, what do you read Deadpool when you're like a kid? Come on. I'm giving you a look through the screen. So just next time you're making a video, just pretend that this guy is looking at you funny through the screen. Because it's happening right now.
What I want to know is how someone could read Spawn and read about a demonic clown named Violator and then ever be able to go to sleep again.
Oh no.
Good, there's a demonic clown and he's probably in my closet. Oh, this is going to be a fun night.
I wouldn't worry about that. Now, if you went and you saw the movie in the 90s and you saw John Leguizamo's performance as the clown, oh boy, that'll give you nightmares.
If you're playing a demonic clown and you don't give people nightmares, you haven't done your job correctly.
Oh, he was so disgusting and slimy in that movie. It was a great performance. It's probably the best performance John Leguizamo's ever given. And now Ninja Weasel's going to chime in here, and he's going to name off that one movie whose name I'm forgetting. He's going to be like, no, it was this movie. And I'm going to be like, no, man, it was Super Mario Brothers. And then he's going to drive up from where he lives, and he's going to kill me. This is a recurring theme. Everybody that knows me wants to kill me. I don't know why that is. I'm joking for YouTube out there. I'm joking. We're in that Spawn tape from Hollywood video. Man, I watched Spawn in theaters. I saw that. That was the Dollar Theater run by the Eastern Kentucky University in Richmond, Kentucky. I saw it on their screen. I thought it was pretty cool. Except for the CGI work, like at the ending. Even like in 1996 or whenever that was pretty pitiful CGI. That's absolutely what killed Mortal Kombat Annihilation, too, is the CGI in the end sequence.
I thought it was the ballet. Or was that the first one?
The ballet?
There was... I only saw a bit of a piece of it, but it was just one scene of these people doing flips and graceful little cartwheels alongside each other for like a solid minute.
That was probably in Annihilation, because none of the fight sequences in the first Mortal Kombat... in fact, I don't think many of the fight sequences lasted more than a minute in the first movie. They were brutal, dude. Like the Sub-Zero Sub-Zero fight ends with somebody getting impaled with icicles. See, I forget exactly how Scorpion died, but I think his head exploded or something. Goro gets punched in the nuts, which is really funny. Good job there, Johnny. Sonya Blade breaks Kano's neck. It was a nasty set of fights. So I don't remember like all that flipping and stuff in the first movie. Maybe it was there, but I'm pretty sure that was an Annihilation, because that movie just... They totally lost the script, man. Every single character in that movie was wasted. See, first time I went to a comic book shop, I was like 6 to 8. First time I saw and opened Batman vs. Alien, not a bad choice. I've never read the whole thing, but I've seen it and flipped through it like online or something. That was not interested in comics or went back there for many years. That's legit. The first time I went to an actual comic book store was Jellies in Hawaii, in Mililani. I was 8 or 9, and they sold comic books, video games, board games, which is why I actually went in there, was for BattleTech stuff. Oh god, I'm a nerd, aren't I? What am I doing playing a slow board game that's as math heavy as BattleTech when I'm a kid? God help me. But they had comic books in there. It's actually where I bought what was my oldest comic book for a long time. It's an old Spider-Man issue from 1979. It was like $4 or $5 and like $1990, which was a lot of money back then. I don't know how I conned my dad into that, but somehow I did. Let's see. And the first comic I ever read, because I bought comics off a newsstand, the first comic book I ever read was more than likely it was a Spider-Man book, but I couldn't tell you which one because it was that long ago. It might have been, I got a Spider-Man book where he's fighting like a spider slayer that's got like long spindly arms. He's in the black costume. That might, no, I take it back. No, the first comic book I ever read was, and I still have it. Hold on. Let me go get this thing. Let me also get the music going again, because it's not my comic book. Technically, I guess it's mine because I've had possession of it for 30 years, but it was my brother's comic book. Let me get this. Where you at? There you are, Battlestar Galactica. Oh man, this is pretty cool. This is something my mom bought for my brother way, way back. Let's see. Full screen. So you can see it's gigantic. This is a normal size comic book. Yeah. As soon as this flips over on the stream, you guys can see it. And in case you missed it, is just reprints. It's a reprint series. It was meant for newsstand distribution. But they don't do newsstand distro at Altern anymore, so the series itself is going to be canceled now. Wow, dude, what a slideshow that was. Anyway, yeah, you can see Monsters is a normal-sized comic book. This is a gigantic treasury edition. This thing is huge. And this was the first comic book I ever read. It was my brother's. I read this when I was... Cool, I don't know. I don't know what age I was when I read this.
In the galaxy far away.
Yeah, I was like 4 or 5, something like that. We had bunk beds. I remember reading this in bed when I was a super little kid. It's one of my earliest memories. But, you know, I had trouble thinking of this as a comic book because this is like this gigantic, huge format as opposed to a normal-sized book. Anyway, I'm going to flip away from this because the frame rate on the camera there is just, it's absolutely breaking my heart to look at. I also should probably wrap this stream up. We've been going for like an hour and 15 minutes now. We had enough time that the Endless Space soundtrack actually ended and I had to restart it. So let me see if there's any commentary in the chat that I need to take a look at here. Let's see. Ran that Spawn tape from Hollywood Video a bunch of times. God, the stream just looks so terrible. I apologize for how the stream looks. I don't know why it looks that way. I really don't. In case you missed it, just reprints. Yes, I already answered that. Alright, I think I'm going to call it a stream here. So Underworld Dream, Eli Easy, Ninja Weasel, and especially you, Mr. Rob, for hopping on the chat in the Discord. Thank you all so much for joining me. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good... Oh, wait, there was one more thing I wanted to talk about. We were talking about drama earlier, right? You remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm going to wait for the stream video I have open to catch up here. It's got to catch up at some point to what I'm showing, right? It's got to. Oh my god, I don't know what's wrong with this. Please, just show the freaking screen over here. Thank you. Hey, hold on, Eli. Don't you go just yet. Drama. So, this comic book, Cadence Lark is Furious, which is the sequel to Cadence Lark, which came out from Dark Horse Comics like 10 years ago or something. I got like one issue of it, which is the only reason I backed this. I was like, oh, this was kind of interesting. It's a superhero socialite, and she has like relationship problems and stuff, and you know, it was just kind of fun. But this dude, Ol Raz here, the creator of this campaign, he never opened the Alien comic because it scared you. Yee. This dude, man, he's literally bled for this comic because that's how he's financed the book. It was late. He couldn't pay his artists or whatever. I don't really understand the drama. I did a video on this. Actually, it was a stream like back in January or something because he's like, I figured out how I'm going to make money. I'm going to sell my blood. And so he's been paying his artists by selling his blood to get money to pay the artists so he can finish the book. And this dude's crazy. Like, I don't want a refund. He's going to send me a refund and the book. He can keep my money. I just want the book. In fact, I might message him on Kickstarter. I forget if you can do that or if you have to write an email or whatever. And just be like, look, man, you can keep the money. Just send me the book because I just want the book. But that's pretty cool of him.
It's the book.
You know, he's making it right. He got in a bad place. He got underwater. And he's trying to fix it. And that's about as good as you can get, man.
Yep.
So, thank God. You almost backed the book. I did back the book. And, you know, I was going to start a campaign where I was going to, like, message this guy, like, every week. And then that was, like, the end of the year. And then he, like, posted that update earlier this year where he was like, all right, man, I'm going to sell my blood. And I made a video. I was like, I don't know if I should believe this guy. I don't know if I should believe him. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And he's been he posts like an update every month saying, hey, man, I got like this number of pages done. I got this number of pages done. And that kind of stuff. So he's actually been true to his word. And I got to give him props for that. This is like the redemption arc, man. You know, like your character, you know, the character's like a villain or whatever. And now he's redeeming himself. He's coming back from that perception. It's pretty cool. So I'll let you know. I'll let you guys know if I ever actually get the book or whatever from him. So we got to see. We got to see. The story's not over yet, but things are looking good. Things are looking good now. All right, that was the last thing I wanted to show. I just wanted to touch on this book and kind of tell that guy's story a little bit. So again, I know one of you might have already left or something, you know, whatever. I appreciate you hanging out with me. I appreciate the time you have chosen to spend with me on this evening. This is glorious.
Aww.
Well, it wasn't really glorious because it was raining outside, but before that it was glorious outside. It was beautiful and sunshiny and wonderful. So I appreciate the time that you spent with me on this glorious Wednesday. You all take care of yourselves. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that thumbs up button if you're still hanging out in the chat and you haven't hit that yet. I always appreciate seeing them thumbs ups tick upwards. Feels good. And I got to 1,000 subscribers, so I don't know what that means, but I am now officially monetized. I've been over 1,000 subscribers for since like Saturday or something. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm just just in time probably for another ad apocalypse.